what is Supergirl going to look like? And also, what is Lobo going to look like? Are we going to see him? And so they finally dropped a trailer and we are going to watch it right now. So I've seen it, but I haven't really dove into it because I really wanted to wait till we could watch it together. And I know you've seen it too, but let's get into it, break it down, talk crap about it. No, I'm just kidding. Unless that's how you feel. Okay, cool. Let's look at this. All right. Our girl. Here we go. Let me know. You can hear it?
Yes.
You managed to get most of it on the paper this time. Good job, buddy. Hi, cars are out. Hereby declare the 23 will be the best year.
Guardians 4, baby. Let's go.
Let's be honest, babe. It's not a very high bar to clear.
I didn't know any of you were still alive. What was it like to lose everything in a day?
Krypton didn't die in a day. The gods are not that kind.
It's totally Guardians.
This does not look like this is gonna end well.
Star-Lord's in trouble. I mean, Supergirl's in trouble now. There's our villain.
Do you have this on your planet? Have cows like you?
No, it's a pretty small group of two.
Look, Superman.
There we go.
He sees the good in everyone. And I see the truth.
And there you have it.
There you go.
Our girl, Supergirl. So that is the trailer written by Anna Nagura, who's going to be like writing pretty much everything moving forward in the DCU, it looks like, because she's got Wonder Woman. And I think she also, there was another one that me and Zach talked about that she's writing too. But Craig Gillespie, who is a fantastic director when it comes to like I, Tonya, Pat and Tommy on TV. So, oh yeah, thank you, Zach. She's doing Titans as well. So it seems like, you know, James Gunn really loves her voice and her writing style. So we're going to be seeing a lot more of her. And now I know why, because she writes in a very similar style to James Gunn. So
he's like, I like her. And it like looks like him with like a wig.
Yeah, it's like, it's just him. But, you know, for the positives of what I can say about this is, one, I think Millie Alcock is a fantastic representation of Supergirl. She looks, she sounds, she feels like this character, like she's been playing it all her life, like she was meant to be this character. And it seems like that's the one core thing that the DCU does so far, is they cast people that feel like they've been doing this character all their lives. So I definitely have to give respect to that. And then that line at the end, he when they're talking about Clark, what was it?
He sees the good in people and I see the truth.
Yeah, he sees the good in people. I see the truth. I'm like, that is a killer line. So there's definitely things in there I'm like, this really likes. This really likes. But on the other side of it, me likey. Me also kind of not likey, in some of the sense that this Supergirl is the next movie, the second of the entire DCU. And so whether we want to admit it or not, there is a good amount riding on this because we're getting a more feel to like what the movies are going to feel like, not Peacemaker, not an animated show. And so I was really hoping that it wouldn't feel like a James Gunn movie. It would feel like a Craig Gillespie movie in its creator driven. And it felt like something that we were scared of was that James Gunn has his hands on everything, and it's not going to be creator driven. It's going to be James Gunn driven under what he views Supergirl should be, not just Superman, but what he views every hero should be in his universe. And that's what it felt like to me.
Yeah.
On the other hand, though, I've talked to a lot of people about the comic Woman of Tomorrow, and Woman of Tomorrow is a space opera adventure, the samurai, the bear and the cub, kind of adventure type of story. And so to the credit of the source material, this does look like that kind of story. So I do want to make it clear that, like, even though it does look very James Gunn Guardians out, it is very in line with the Woman of Tomorrow storyline from the comics.
But the comic, just to step in here really quick, the comic has I haven't read the whole comic. I think I read maybe 1 or 2 issues of it. It's drawn beautifully by an artist named Bilquis Evely, I believe is her name. But it has a very distinct like fantasy vibe to it. And this sits in that like sci-fi, like we're all joking about it in the chat, but this sits in that like sci-fi James Gunn Guardians of the Galaxy world, right? So that did, because the whole time they've been advertising the Supergirl movie, they've been saying it's based on the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, and everybody was really excited about it because that comic did well. So I was a little bit surprised by the stylistic choices, the visual stylistic choices that they did on this trailer for some of those reasons you brought up.
And to Zach's credit, like, and sorry to cover your face. No. To Zach's credit, go like this.
Zach, darn you, Zach.
Says, I will say it doesn't look as good as the book, but then he did say, as long as it's good, it doesn't matter if it's Guardian's Life. Right. And I do believe that. But as a trailer for a first look, I was expecting like something a little different in tone, something a little bit more like detrimental, because heavy. I hear that the story is like very dark, and this feels like very light-hearted and fun and funny and adventurous, which it can be, but I was hoping that the tone would be a little bit more like taken seriously, and it didn't give me that impression. And for those uninitiated to the Woman of Tomorrow source material, they're not going to know that this isn't so much a Guardians type story as it is like a very like serious and sad and like mean story and gritty, you know what I mean? And I didn't get that sense from this trailer.
Mm-hmm. I think maybe my guess is like marketing was like weighing the options. How much of the audience that loves James Gunn are we going to get to watch this movie versus how much of the audience are we going to turn off if we make it feel like a Guardians movie? And I think they just are, they're banking on the people that would just go watch it. I'm probably one of those that I'm like, okay, it's not exactly what I was expecting, but I think the execution, at least of the shots I'm seeing, is like, okay, this could be cool. Like it could be a fun movie. There's like some, just the tone of it, the feel of it, like felt like I'd watch this movie. It wasn't a total like I'm not going there. So they're gonna get my butt in the seat. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it was almost like beat for beat everything that James Gunn would do if he directed this movie, down to the music and the sense of humor, the designs of the other characters, the villain characters. All of it feel like exactly the choices he would make. So they've just cashed in all their James Gunn chips, and they're like, we're gonna do it. We'll see what happens. So
100%. And I felt
Yeah.
like this isn't a terrible trailer. I just felt like, like it left me kind of like, oh, like, you know, a lot of people, this is how I felt. A lot of people's complaints was that this universe is just going to be James Gunn's universe under his guidance and having his hands under, you know, on every single project. And this trailer kind of shows that they're right. You know, it didn't do the opposite and be like, look, every project is going to be its own creator's baby, its own thing. It did the opposite where you're like, okay, here we go. Another James Gunn movie. I guarantee you, for the uninitiated, most people are going to think, oh, James Gunn directed Supergirl and Superman. Cool.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that's why they did the title card twice of the director Craig Gillespie at the beginning and at the end, because yeah, that's exactly what I thought. I'm like, wow, looks like James Gunn directed this. Oh no, Craig Gillespie. I had to be reminded of that. Oh yeah, that guy. So yeah, I almost feel like I don't know if the trailer is like just pulled out of the movie. Then yeah, it's gonna feel like a James Gunn movie. But maybe it's just the way they cut the trailer. I don't know, because like they add that music.
Cut it. The song choice. I think it's the song choice. Like, you know, seeing other people talk about this for the Supergirl trailer. If they had chosen a different song, would this have felt so James Gunn-y, or would it have hit the audience a little bit differently? You know, and that's where I think I was talking about giving it a more serious tone and making the stakes seem higher. Using a different song, would that have changed this trailer if you only change the music? And I think it would have, to be honest. And also, why do they have Taserface in the movie? No,
right. Need more Taserface. Was in his contract.
Yeah. So it's interesting, you know, like they show this one-off picture. This is the main villain. And so it's like, you didn't give like the main villain like an epic intro, an epic scene, anything like that. You give him a glimpse of a random person that doesn't look anything like its comic counterpart. And we're just supposed to be like, sick. Like, this is the best ride ever. And it's like, this is your main villain and this is how you're introducing him. Like, so do you not have faith in the main villain? That's what it's making me feel like, based on how you decided to just throw him in the trailer so casually.
Well, let's be honest. A lot of what, at least the bits of news I read about this trailer, probably 9 out of 10 people were talking about Lobo. So let's be honest, like they're making this like, this is a Supergirl movie, but if Jason Momoa hits like everybody is expecting to him and performs as Lobo the way people are expecting it, this is the launch pad of the Lobo franchise 100%. For the DCU. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't want to make Supergirl a jobber though for Lobo, because Supergirl is a great character, and Woman of Tomorrow is arguably one of her best storylines from the comics.
Award-winning story,
It's an award-winning storyline. And so to use Supergirl as a jobber just to introduce Lobo and start his franchise would be a huge disservice to Supergirl.
It kind of would be, but they're the ones who decided to tie her in there.
You're right.
That, like, what is it? 2 seconds of him in there and everybody's like, yeah.
No, I mean, you're right. Like, and to talk about Lobo for a second, I've seen some chatter online too that people are like, wow, you went from Aquaman to a character nobody knows about. But you got to view it like this. Before Ryan Reynolds came out with Deadpool, it wasn't like people were clamoring for a Deadpool movie. You don't give people, you show people something that they want that they didn't know they wanted. And that's what you need to do with Lobo. Lobo is a Deadpool type character where he's been around that universe for a while. He is wild and he is captivating, but he isn't the prototypical comic book character that everybody knows. So when you introduce him, you got to do it in a big, bad way. And I think having Jason Momoa as Lobo is the way to do it, because when you see it on screen, I don't think there's a doubt in anyone's mind that he is absolutely going to crush playing this character.
Yeah, there's a lot of history or chatter about Jason Momoa wanting to be Lobo and pitching that he wanted to be Lobo like for years, right? And even when he first appeared as Aquaman, people were like, that dude should be Lobo, just because he just is like the long hair, the like bodybuilder, like physique, you know, everything. And just the attitude that he brings, the attitude he brought as Aquaman might as well have been Lobo, like Lobo
100%.
light, you know?
He changed how we view Aquaman. You know what I mean? Like the character of Aquaman for the DCEU was built around Jason Momoa's actual personality and characteristics. Like that's how big his personality is, that such a big DC character like Aquaman was molded into something that Jason Momoa could play instead of being like the Aquaman from the comics. And now it influenced what Aquaman kind of looks like in the comics, which is kind of ironic. And so I feel like it was good that the way they introduced Lobo in the trailer for a split second is the right way to do it. To give us something that we can kind of see, you know, have fans brighten up on their, you know, computers so we can get a better look at it, but not give us too much. I think that is the right way to at least give us a glimpse of Lobo and let us know, like, he's coming. And then in the next trailer, when we get like a full trailer, he does something badass or something funny, and you're like, oh man, I cannot wait to see him now. That's a great way to gradually introduce us to a character that hopefully, if done right, we will be seeing for a very long time in the DCU.
Yeah. And to your original point, like, you just hope it's not a reason to get Lobo on the screen is Supergirl, and that the story itself and her character can hold up the movie. But it's a tall order, because he is a big personality. That character is a big personality character. The actor is a big personality. So I think the bets are in of like, how much percentage will he be in the movie? Is it just going to be a cameo, or is he going to like team up with, you know, I know in the main story, he's not really a huge factor, but yeah, I'm really curious. Is he just going to appear for a minute or two and then that's it? Who knows?
I don't think you pay Jason Momoa money for a cameo. I think he'll be in a substantial amount, enough where people will fall in love with him so much that he gets his own spinoff. That's always the plan. Using Jason Momoa as Lobo is that the audience likes him enough to spin it off into his own franchise. And so I think he needs enough time on screen to be able to do that. And the time that he does have, he needs to absolutely crush it, because Zach is right. If they flop on Momoa playing Lobo, we are all cooked 100%.
Well, we aren't cooked, but
no, we're cooked.
DC.
We're cooked. They cooked us.
Nice.
Okay, guys. Well, let us know your thoughts. Did you like the Supergirl trailer? Was it enough for you? It is a teaser trailer, but did it give you the idea that this is a movie that stands on its own and has nothing to do with James Gunn? Or did it leave a little bit to be desired? Drop a comment below and let us know your thoughts.